Hello, welcome to the Sports Show with Bob Spino. I'm Bob, and I'm here to make my weekly picks, both the NCAA and the NFL. I had a bit of a fall last week, a little bit, but only a little. I was still 52-17 for what it was worth. And after the first couple of weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, I am 187-37 on my picks. So that means I'm 150 games over 500, folks. So like I told you, you don't get everyone right. No one does. But I get a lot more right than I get wrong, and a lot more than everybody else when they pick. Now, I'm not really picking with points because I'm just getting them out of here quick. But if you just bet the home teams more times than not, or just follow my picks, you'll win a lot more money than you'll lose. You'll win so much money, you won't know what to do with it. I just want to break for last week's picks again, go over them real quick. I pretty much did really well. There were a few upsets. Minnesota lost at home. Ridiculous. Bowling Green ended up beating them 14-10. I wasn't expecting that. I don't think Bowling Green was expecting that. Boston College, I told you could go either way. They beat Missouri. They were home, folks. That's what happens when you're home. And they're really good. They're like 4-0, I believe. So you want to keep an eye on that. And although the Notre Dame-Wisconsin game, I lean towards Wisconsin, but I'll tell you, I told you last week I didn't believe in them. They stink. The quarterback stinks. The coach is worse. I said that every week. And I found out I wouldn't, and I don't trust Notre Dame either. They're not all that great. But I did find out something I didn't know when it was too late after I made the pick. The game was not in Wisconsin. Everybody kept saying it was a home game for them. It wasn't, folks. It was a neutral site. And if I knew that, I wouldn't even have thought twice. I would have went to Notre Dame. So I'm not even counting that one as a loss. Technically it is, but it really isn't. And Indiana, Notre Dame, is closer to Chicago, actually. They should have gave Notre Dame that home game than Madison, Wisconsin is. I got the rest pretty much right. Penn State, they won. Looking down on it. Texas, they really destroyed Texas Tech. And they were home. I picked them. Let's see, what else? Miami, they smoked. They won big. Excuse me. Memphis lost at home. A little surprised at that, but UC San Antonio really is good. Arkansas, told you they beat A&M. They're really, really good, folks. Rutgers at Michigan. I told you guys, and I told Rob. Rob got mad, and Rob's not here today, unfortunately. He's going to be here later tonight. We're going to do another show. Rutgers at Michigan. It was 2013. I told Rob how good Rutgers was, and he didn't want to buy it. I did pick Michigan. I knew that Rutgers was going to be in the game, and I was right. They're pretty good. Maryland, awesome. I mean, they really look really good. Duke beat Kansas, no surprise. Auburn won, no surprise. UCLA won. That was a nice win for us. It's always tough to go on the road in the Pac-12, but we took care of it. We really should be 4-0. We should have beat Fresno. The only team that's really going to give us any problems is Oregon. Anybody else, no. And that includes SC, who got walloped at home. They are a joke. Their coaching staff is a mess. Defensive coordinator is horrible. Head coach, nobody even knows who he is. I was a little surprised they lost at home that bad, but Oregon State went in there. I want to say they said something about it's the first time in 60 years that Oregon State went in there and won a game. That's pretty impressive. And everybody else is pretty much what I thought it would be. So I had a good week, not a great week, but I'm still 150 games over 500. And going into that, let's go to this week's, and we will do that right now. Here's my picks for the week. Virginia at Miami, Florida. This thing's jumping around a little. I got Miami, Florida in this game. It's an ESPN game. It's Thursday night, and I think they're going to win. Do I think they're great? No. But I think they're going to win? Yeah. Houston at Tulsa, interesting game in Tulsa. Tulsa can win because of it. I'm going with Houston in a slight upset. Iowa at Maryland. Iowa's fifth in the country. They're really, really good, but Maryland's a buzzsaw. I'm going to go with the upset here and take Maryland. BYU at Utah State. BYU's ranked. Utah State's okay. I guess I'll go with BYU. This week, I'm going to pick some more road games because there's some lopsided games. And this will prove if you're really a great team, you can win these games on the road. That makes you elite. Winning at home is easier, as I've taught you in the first couple of weeks. Minnesota at Purdue. Charlotte at Illinois. Illinois is not very good. Charlotte's okay. Illinois, I guess, at home. Duke in North Carolina. North Carolina should win at home, but I think Duke's better. I'm going to go with Duke. Memphis at Temple. I'm going to go with Memphis on the road. Michigan and Wisconsin at Wisconsin. I hope they're at Wisconsin this week and not in a neutral. I believe they are in Wisconsin, and I think Michigan's going to beat them. Arkansas at Georgia, great game. I love Arkansas. Georgia, I know they won big last week, but I don't know about their all. I mean, they did score a lot. They didn't really play anybody last week, though. They're both ranked teams. I'm tempted to say Georgia, but I'm going to say Arkansas in an upset. But it wouldn't surprise me if Georgia won. They're number 2 in the country, and they're home. But I'm going to go with Arkansas here. Pittsburgh at Georgia Tech. Pittsburgh scores a lot, folks. Georgia's pretty good, but I'm going with Pittsburgh here. Tennessee at Missouri. Texas at TCU. I'm going to go with TCU. I don't know if I believe in Texas. I know they roll Texas Tech, but I'm going to go with TCU. Toledo at Massachusetts. Massachusetts. Western Michigan is pretty good. At Buffalo, who's really good. I got Buffalo here. They're home. I think they'll do it. Wake Forest at home against Louisville. Wake is undefeated, I believe. Louisville can score a ton. I'm going to go with Louisville. I think they can score. You know what? Wake is good, though. There's no doubt about it. They're undefeated for a reason. But I'm going to go with Louisville here in a close one. Appalachian State at Georgia State. Appalachian's pretty good. They can score a lot. Maybe Appalachian State here. Cincinnati at Notre Dame. Both teams are ranked. If that game was in Cincy, I'd definitely say Cincy. Maybe Notre Dame in a real close one. And Cincy could beat them because they're ranked, like I said. And so is Notre Dame. But I don't believe in Notre Dame. I don't think they're that good. Like I said, last week, that backup quarterback, that third string really kind of changed everything for them. We'll see. But I still don't trust their day. But I'll go with Notre Dame here. Eastern Michigan, Northern Illinois. Eastern Michigan's pretty good. I'll go with Eastern Michigan. Coastal Carolina against UL Monroe. I got Coastal. They got beat pretty bad last week, but they won't this week. Nevada at Boise. They made a nice win on the road last week. UCF at Navy. UCF. Navy's not all that good. Texas Tech at West Virginia. Tulane at Eastern Carolina. Tulane's pretty good. I'm going to go with Eastern Carolina, though. Troy at South Carolina, who pulled an upset last week. I'm going to go, and they're home this week. I'm going to go with South Carolina. Oregon at Stanford. Pretty good game. We just went there and won. They scored 24 points, but we dominated them. I got to go with Oregon there. Oklahoma at K-State. I'm going with K-State, folks. They're pretty solid. Oklahoma is not. They don't have a good defense. I know they're ranked, but I don't trust them. I'm going with K-State. Ohio State at Rutgers. I think they're going to beat Ohio State. Rob, you heard me. I think it. I know you said no way they're going to win, and they may not. Technically, Ohio State's better. They're 7th in the country, I believe. 11th, I'm sorry. Still, they're ranked. Rutgers is not. But I like Rutgers. They stay with Michigan. If they can stay with Michigan, they can beat Ohio State at home. Ohio State don't have a good defense, and their quarterback is suspect. I'm going with the upset. I'm going with the home team. Ohio and Akron. Ole Miss at Alabama. Oh, my. Alabama. They'll beat Ole Miss. FIU at FAU. Battle of the letters, folks. FAU, they're home. Cuse at Florida State. Florida State I got. Cuse is, you haven't showed me much. Rob screamed at me last week. And then I screamed at him the next day. Florida State, I don't think Cuse can. I mean, Cuse is playing on the road this time, and Florida State stinks, to be honest with you. But I think they'll win this one. When you have two teams that are equal or lesser, you go with the home team. It's Florida State, I got. Central Michigan, Miami of Ohio. Bowling Green and Kent State. Tough one, folks. Maybe Bowling Green. Southern Florida, SMU. I got SMU. Arkansas State at Georgia Southern. Army at Ball State. I got Army. They're pretty darn good. Washington State at California. UNLV at UNLV at UT San Antonio. I got UT San Antonio. They're actually really good. Louisiana Tech at NC State. Florida, Kentucky. Florida should win. They're good. They battled Alabama right down to the end. But Kentucky's really good, and they're home. And I can see an upset here. I can see Florida letting down a little. I got Kentucky. Air Force at New Mexico. Air Force. I like them. Southern Miss at Rice. Baylor at Oklahoma State. Kansas at Iowa State, who's not ranked anymore, by the way. They've totally hit the skids. Mississippi State, and they're not ranked either. At Texas A&M, I got A&M. Liberty, Rob's favorite, at UAB. Marshall and Middle Tennessee. Western Kentucky at Michigan State. Connecticut at Vandy. Vanderbilt. Northwestern, Nebraska. They almost beat Michigan State. It went overtime. I like Nebraska. They're a lot better than people thought. I got Nebraska this week. Indiana at Penn State. Penn State, please play on the road before the season ends. Penn State. Boston College at Clemson. Oh, you know what? Boston College. How about that? Clemson's terrible. They're way overrated. They're going to be out of the top 25 soon. Not just out of the Final Four playoff games. They're already out of that, but they're going to be out of the top 25. Boston College, they're undefeated. I kind of like them. Southern Alabama, Louisiana, Southern Alabama. Auburn at LSU. LSU should win. They have a big advantage at home. Auburn played lousy. I'm going to go with Auburn in an upset, but it wouldn't shock me if LSU wins at all. They're home. But I think they have more injuries, actually. So, I'm going to go with Auburn. Washington and Oregon State. Oregon State, sure, I'll go with them. They played a great game at USC that demolished them. It's the first time, like I said, since 1960 that they went there, Southern California, and won the game last week against SC. Old Dominion, UTEP. Arizona State at UCLA. Great game. Arizona State's good. They're going to give us a time, but we're going to beat them. UCLA. New Mexico State. That's San Jose State. Fresno State and Hawaii. I got Fresno here. They're going to beat them. Okay, that's the college picks. Sorry about the coughing. I don't know what's going on with my sinuses lately. It's that time of year. Okay, now we're going to go to the pros. And last week, my suicide pool, I won pretty easy. We picked Denver over the Jets. Anybody over the Jets, keep you in the pool. But unfortunately, our pool, you can only pick against a bad team twice all year. So we got one more losing Jet week, and after that, we can't pick against them anymore. Okay, but this week, first game, Jags, Bengals, Thursday night. I got the Bengals, and I like them so much, I picked them in my suicide this week. So come on, Bengals, let's go. But I do think they're going to win anyway. That's why we picked them. Titans, Jets, Titans. I can't see the Jets winning anything at the rate they're going. Kansas City, who fumbles every game away this year so far, they should be 3-0. They're 1-2. Against the Eagles, I think they'll beat the Eagles. But they got to stop with the fumbling. And they got Josh Gordon this week. He'll be on the big team before you know it. I said they need another wide out since they lost Watkins. I thought they needed a wide out last year when he got hurt. They never got it. I still think they need another running back. They didn't get it. They worried about the offensive line. I guess they had to do that. But there's a lot of issues. And everybody can just guard Hill and Kelsey. They need more weapons. And finally, they got them. But I do think they're going to win this game. And I think they're going to win a lot of games coming up. But they got to stop fumbling. And their defense got to stiffen up a little. Not very good. Panthers at boys. Cowboys, they were impressive. And I think they're going to win again this week. Cowboys will beat the Panthers at home. Giants, Saints in New Orleans. Saints will kill them. Giants terrible. Browns at Vikings. Not an easy game. It's in Minnesota. I do think the Browns should be able to take them, but yeah, we'll see. I got the Browns. Lions, Bears. Lions should have won. You know what? Why'd you call timeout when you had Jackson on the ropes? When you had him 4th and 19 on his own 5-yard line, you let him throw a bomb with no time left, pretty much. 7 seconds, they spiked it. Guy kicks a 66-yarder. Ridiculous. You can't be losing that way. Granted, he got lucky making it. The thing went straight up in the air like a jump ball, bounced over the crossbar. But still, the Lions shouldn't have lost. They outplayed them. They got a really good running back, by the way. But I got the Bears here. They're home. Lions will go to 0-4, I think. Texans, Bills will kill them. Last week was the best week that Allen played all season. He was terrible in the first 2 games, but he played good last week. I think he will again. Colts, Dolphins. Dolphins are not very good. They're lucky they're not 0-3. New England don't fumble in first week of the year. They're 0-3. But I think they'll win this one. I'm going with the Dolphins. Redskins, Falcons. Washington almost needs it for the division to stay in the division race. I'm going to go with Washington, but the Falcons are much better at home. They could win it. That one's a pick'em game to me. I guess Washington in a close one. Wouldn't shock me if the Falcons find a way to win, though. Seahawks and 49ers. Not that I think either one of these two teams are that good. They're not. And I knew that about the 49ers from the start. They haven't been good since they went to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. They traded Bruckner that year, their defensive lineman. They haven't been right since. Garoppolo's not that good, folks. He's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. And Kansas City proved that in the Super Bowl. Whenever they would blitz him, he would panic and throw an interception. And they didn't blitz him much because the 49ers were winning most of that game. Once they started to do it, that's when he started to crumble at the end of the game, late in the third. But I think the 49ers will probably win this game. They're home. I don't think they're going to be great this year, the 49ers. They'll maybe win 9 or 10 games. That's about it. And then they'll be out when the playoffs come. They're not very good. Hawks have no defense. You get by Russell Wilson, you can beat them. The rest of the team's not very good. We got the 49ers because they're home. If it was in Seattle, I would have Seattle. Cardinals at the Rams. Welcome to your first loss, Arizona. I was going to call them St. Louis Cardinals. The Rams are going to maul you. They're going to beat you. They're the best team in the NFC right now. And I did pick them last week to beat Tampa Bay, and they did. All Brady aside. Steelers at the Packers. Steelers are going to lose. They're going to be 1-3. And by the way, their season's over. Ben is looking old, and they're watching films of him on the coaching staff, and they're thinking it. So there's a problem. Well, I always said once Ben goes, they go. They ain't going to be good again for a long, long time. Their reign of power is over. And they just got lucky that they got Ben when they did, or it would have been over years ago. They wouldn't have won any more Super Bowls. But it's over now. And Ben's been threatening quitting the last couple of years anyway, on and off. So after this year, he just might. Steelers are done. Packers are going to beat him. Rodgers, the little pest, is starting to find himself a little bit. He'll beat them. Ravens at the Broncos. Ravens should be 0-3, folks. Chiefs had him beat. All they had to do was throw the ball and not hand off. The Lions had him beat. The field goal kicker got lucky. They got lucky. The game was over. 4th and 19, you call timeout and let Lamar throw a 50-yard bomb. Should have not have called any timeout. Should have just made him have a quick play, and it would have been the end of the game. They would have lost. But when you're a bad team like the Lions are, you do that. You do that stuff. That's what losers do. Ravens at the Broncos, like I said. I'm leaning on the Broncos. I think they're going to win the game. Be close, though. But all they got to do is keep Jackson in his little box and make him throw the ball. He'll never win. They won't win. Like I said, they should be 0-3. They're 2-1. I think they're going to be 2-2 after this game. The Bucks at the Patriots. Patriots are not very good, folks. Brady's going home. I'll go with the Bucks. Raiders, Chargers. Raiders are going to lose their first game this week. Chargers are really good, and I thought they were good. I knew they were going to give Kansas City all they can handle. The Chiefs should have won the game because they were home, but they fumbled that game away. First 2 drives they were driving. Both times they fumbled. They would have scored on both if they didn't fumble. And they only lost by, what did they lose by, 6? Because the game was tied late in the game. But Chargers are really, really good. They really should be 3-0. The ref took the game away in the Dallas game. The ref took a bunch of their games away last year. I keep saying somebody don't like the Chargers out there. They keep getting shafted by the ref. But I got the Chargers here. The Raiders are good, but they're not really 3-0 team in my mind. So I'm going with the Chargers. Okay, am I missing anything? No, I am not. So that's my picks, folks. So again, I'll run it down real fast. Bengals over the Jags, Titans over the Jets, Chiefs over the Eagles, Panthers, Cowboys over the Panthers. They'll get their first loss. Saints over the Giants are going to be 0-4. Browns over the Vikings. Lions and Bears, the Bears. Bills over the Texans. Dolphins in a close one over the Colts. Washington in a close one over the Falcons. Seahawks, 49ers. That one is actually going to be pretty close. I got the 49ers. Cardinals, Rams. Packers over the Steelers. Broncos over the Ravens. Bucks over the Patriots. Tampa Bay, that is. And the Raiders and the Chargers, Okay, that's my picks. And the only thing I want to say is, how the heck did the Yankees go 7-0? I can't believe it. They really should have been out of this thing. And unbelievably, because they're the Yankees, like I told you, folks, you never count them out. And because they can hit. That's the other thing I'm teaching you. Hitting beats pitching. Good hitting beats good pitching. The Yankees have always had the most World Series wins. They have always had the best hitters. And here they are again. It's unreal. Well, until tonight, folks, and I'll work on my voice. Until tonight, this is Bob Spino signing off on the Sports Show with Bob Spino. And Have a nice day, everybody, and I'll see you tonight.